morning traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to this week's Asian session trade zone update. So starting point is US futures at the moment are slightly lower after Friday's gains, and we're seeing gains from the Aussie, the Euro and the pound to the US dollar, and we're seeing mixed so far from the risk majors to the yen, with the Aussie higher but the Euro and the pound slightly lower. The New Zealand is trading 0.11% higher to the USD. And looking at the Aussie here, I think the question is, can we see a move this week back to the 70 cent point if things keep going favorably for markets against the USD? And the Euro again is testing this resistance this morning, so that will be our target this week, 1.0886, to see if we can break that point. So the Euro continues to follow this very nice trend after that very big drop we saw in the third quarter last year, and it's a long time ago that we saw that move where things look quite bad for the Euro, but now things are starting to settle down a bit and this trend remains in place. So that point here will be our focus this week. The pound at this stage as well, we'll be looking to see if it can break above this resistance at 1.2427 to 30 to 40 roughly. And the yen pairs, after a pretty tumultuous week again last week, they finished very strongly on Friday, and we're just looking to see if buyers can continue to push up after that surge to end out last week. And it was a good market. It was a very good day for equities on Friday. So we saw the Dow add 1%, the S&P 500 1.89%, and the NASDAQ added 2.66%. So far this morning, the ASX 200 is following those stronger leads, and we are seeing a gain of 0.10% at this stage. So news-wise coming up this week, we have public holiday in China now. That's for the Lunar New Year, so there'll be a few days that the Chinese markets will be observing those holidays. It's an extremely massive deal in China, the Lunar New Year, so they celebrate that with basically a week off from memory. So starting from Tuesday, we have flush manufacturing, and that will be for the pound, the euro, the EU, France and Germany. And we have the US as well on very early Wednesday morning, which is the flush services PMI and the manufacturing. And we also have Kiwi CPI on Wednesday, and we have Australian CPI as well on Wednesday. So they're looking at 1.4% in New Zealand, and year on year they're looking for 7.5%, which is an increase for locally here in Australia. And for the quarter on quarter, they're looking for 1.6%, which is a slight decrease from the last 1.8%. The trim mean CPI, they're looking for 1.6, which is a decrease from the previous 1.8. Now on Thursday, we have some interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada. Rates are expected to increase by 0.25% to 4.50%, and so the press conference and the statement will be a point of interest there from the Bank of Canada. We also have a bank holiday on Thursday for Australian markets, and on Friday we have early Friday morning we have advanced GDP for the US and looking for 2.6%, and to cap off the week on Saturday, early Saturday morning at 12:30 a.m., which is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have the core PCE price index from the States, and they're looking for an increase to 0.3%. So any surprises there? The GDP as well could be one to watch. Any surprises could see some movement in the market, and with interest rate talk still being up and around, but the messages are not so much mixed, but mixed with the data and then mixed with the message coming from some of the Fed members. We'll see if any deviations from what's expected could set off any movement in the market, and we could see some movement on the dollar, but the dollar at this stage at the moment is still trying to push through this support point here, but at the moment we seeing a fair bit of resistance from anywhere below that 101.76 down to 101.36. There's been a lot of buying, and there is a previous low down at 101.18 as well. So last week that was a bit of a theme of things. We saw that push down, and then we saw buyers continue to try and get some moves going, but it's been rejected so far, and we are seeing this move testing lower after Friday's failed rally and move lower. Gold this morning is slightly higher. Now gold did finish last week a little bit subdued, but we did have that really big rally on Thursday, and then we had that last session of the week was a decline, and this week, to start the week, we are seeing some small gains, but at the moment it does look a fair way off trend, so we'll just have to see how much more momentum buyers do have it, on the short term. And for oil as well, so oil had a very nice finish to the week. It's still really trapped around this resistance point, and that's at the 80 area. We had a mini win with a break of this resistance here at 81.06, but we need to see a break of this area here now to really show that this trend is going to continue. I'm talking about this move here. That's the new short-term trend. We've got a higher low here, and we have a test of that range resistance with a close above. So oil would like to see take that next step and just push higher. Now for the US 30, we do have a nice support hold here at 32.904. We have this rally to finish last week, so to see this week if we do get another move, we'd like to see a break above this point here at 33.437. There was a lot of selling last week, so we'll see what happens when we get up, if we do get up into these areas. And if we do, if we're going to see more selling come on, or if we do see a new higher low setup, and then we'll be looking for a push to try and test that previous high at 34.295. Some of the NASDAQ, we'll touch on that now as well. So the NASDAQ had a really strong finish to last week. We can see that bar there. That does look like a trend continuation at this point. We've broken above this resistance here. So if we do see buying continue, and the recovery, this recovery trend continues to push higher, we'll be looking to see what buyers do if they reach 11,837, and then obviously the next key target will be this point of resistance up here around the 12, that 12 area, and to above up to 12.1. So we'll see if this bar here is actually a signal bar and sets off a new leg higher. Now with the flash data coming out this week, we did see a recovery on European indexes on Friday, so we have this very nice trend here. So we'll just, like some of the other indexes, we'll look to see if these will become higher lows, and if we'll get a retest of some of those resistance areas. And it's the same over on really the other key indexes. So we've seen that pullback, and we've seen the fight back now. That's still inside that bar from the previous day of selling, so we'd like to see if we can get back up to test this level here at 7089. And for the UK 100, which tracks the FTSE, it's a very similar story. We have this bar here that looks to be, as a signal of selling reversal, and we've had this Friday's bar which is pushed higher. So we'll now look to see if prices can get back up to test 7860, and a break of 7860 could signal that this trend is going to resume. And just before we end off, we'll just touch on cryptos. So if you didn't know, this weekend Bitcoin continued to push higher over the weekend, and it's now last week we saw a total retrace of the FDX move lower. Bitcoin is back at 22 now, which is a good price to see, and now we want to see price get back up to 23, and then if we can hold at 23 and continue to push higher, we want to see if prices can test and break probably that 24 area. But if we do see more selling, we'd like to see some support come in around this area here. I probably wouldn't like to see a move below 20,000 at this point, and if we do, we'd just hopefully we do see support above 21, around 21,500, and then a new higher low, and back up to test this point here, and then continue on to test that resistance we just mentioned. Similar story for a lot of the other coins. We're just looking to see if we do see more pullbacks, we see higher lows, and then new pushes higher to clear resistance. So that key level there for Ethereum is 1666, and then after that we'll be looking for a test of 1766, and some of the other coins as well. It's a similar story. We just want to see buyers after that pullback just test and break some range resistance and get back up to previous levels. So here it's 31405 on BNB, and Yeah, so that's some of the keys coming out this week. The PCE price index, the advanced GDP, Australian CPI, the Bank of Canada. Any surprises there, and it'll be interesting to see some of the flush data coming out in Europe as well on Tuesday. So that's it for today's update. I hope you have a fantastic week. We wish you the best of trading, and if you are enjoying our analysis and you'd like to see more of it, and we do have guest analysts coming out during the week as well, so please jump on and subscribe, and then you'll be up to date with what's coming out. So that's that's it for today. As mentioned, good trading, have a fantastic week, and until the next report, bye for now.